It's your first day, so we're going to talk about writing, and then we're going to talk about speaking. I'm going to give you a few homeworks, okay? And first thing first, मैले यो स्क्रिनमा share गर्दैछु. I'm putting this on the screen. सबभन्दा पहिला, you have to tell me if you can see what I'm typing. Can you see? Nirmal, you can see, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So, yes, we're going to talk about writing, and we're going to talk about speaking today. I'm going to tell you all the basics that is needed for you to do a writing. You're a homework pani dinchu, you're a task pani dinchu, and you'll have to do it tomorrow as a homework. And this will this editing garchu, sabai kasari lekhne sabai kura sikaunchu. So today's first day, तपाईहरुको, and I'm going to focus mostly on writing and speaking in this bachi. Slowly ek do din ma I'm going to teach you about reading, and then I'm going to teach you about listening. Yeah, so you can take a notebook, you can take a pencil or a pen, you can start noting down the important points, okay, if you feel something is important, right? So we're going to talk about writing first of all. If you cannot see on the screen, if you cannot see anything on the screen, please sign out and sign in again, and then it'll be okay, because it's a new app for the first time you've downloaded, and it happens to a lot of people. So okay, so writing basically is 5 plus 40 minutes. Yeah, there's a reason why I have not said just 40 minutes, sorry, 45 minutes, because the initial 5 minutes are very important. That initial 5 minutes, it's just the reading time. So when you are in the examination hall and when you get the question paper in your hands, question paper hatma bhako bela, they tell you that okay, you can start reading, and since you have pencil in your hands, and हामीले के गर्छौं, कतिजना क्यान्डिडेट्सले के गर्दिन्छन् भन्दा, they start marking with a pencil on the question paper, which you shouldn't be doing. कहिले पनि गर्नु हुँदैन. Mark. Yeah, because the suruko 5 minutes, it's just given, it's dedicated for the Ambro reading. Just read, nothing else in the initial 5 minutes. 2022 मा 11 जनाको फेलियर भएको छ. यसले गर्दाखेरि कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि they have cameras that is constantly observing you, and if you do not follow the instruction given by OET, then they send you an email stating that malpractice was noticed in the way you sat for the examination. Isko matlab, it's a good way to say that you cheated. Yeah, so remember, why is this initial 5 minutes so important is because your time you're not allowed to write, you just read, and don't touch your writing device, your pencil or chunu. And then the real game begins when they tell you that you can start writing. Then in 40 minutes you need to produce a letter. You're a chithi lekhnu parcha. How what kind of letter? 180 to 200 words. Yeah, that's the word limit. It's not like an IELTS where it's specific. 151 is 150, 251 is 250. If you exceed or if you're low, yeah, they deduct your point, but it doesn't happen in OET, so you do not have to be concerned about this. So 180 to 200 words. And lekhne chahi ke ho? Chithi, a letter, euta letter आउँछ. Ani what kind of letter? There are 3 kinds of letter. There's a referral letter. Number 2, we have discharge letter. DISCHARG, discharge letter. And here the third type, we have a transfer. TRA, paratypic, sorry. So I've kept it in the 3 types of letters, and most commonly they ask you referral letter. That's why I've given that type, the first part. And a referral every month हुन्छ नि, 2टा exam हुन्छ OET को, 2टा exam मा एकदमै frequently आइरा हुन्छ referral letter. Right? And त्यसपछि the second most common type of letter is going to be a discharge letter. Right? Discharge letter पनि आउँछ, but in my experience, every 6 देखि 10 months, every 6 months, every 6 देखि 10 months को बीचमा आइरा हुन्छ discharge letter. It's not very frequent. Why they don't ask is because discharge letter is so easy. That's the reason they don't ask you. Yeah, transfer letter. Last time I saw was 3-4 months ago, and before that I saw somebody them asking transfer letter was 2 years ago before that. So ek dui varsako gap ma around the transfer letter, so it's very infrequent. But we're going to learn all three of them, obviously. And there's not a lot of difference, to be honest. So let me explain you what is a referral letter, what is discharge letter, and what is a transfer letter. Yeah, म सबै कुरा एउटा एउटा एक्सप्लेन गर्छु. रिफरल लेटर भनेको के हो, डिस्चार्ज लेटर भनेको के हो, ट्रान्सफर लेटर भनेको के हो. You have to understand this किनभने when you look at the question paper को तल्लो पार्टमा गयो भने I'll show you what the question paper looks like. अहिले म एकछिनमा देखाइहाल्छु. Question paper को तल गयो भने you will see instruction त्यहाँ लेखेको हुन्छ, write a referral letter, write a discharge letter, write a transfer letter. हैन, तर कहिले कहिले के गर्छन् भन्दाखेरि जसले क्वेशन पेपर सेट गरेको हुन्छ, the people who set the question paper, तिनीहरूले sometimes के भन्छन् लुकाइदिन्छन्, write a letter मात्र भनिदिन्छ. They don't specify the type. त्यति बेला चाहिँ के हुन्छ, candidates all get confused. What should I write? I mean, should I write the letter in a referral way? Should I write the letter in a discharge way or a transfer way? So there's always a little bit of confusion. So let me tell you in detail. It's most of the time it's approximately मैले कुरा गर्दैछु. And let me tell you again that some of you have entered just now. Screen ma whatever I'm typing, if you cannot see, you have to sign out and sign in again because it's a new app. त्यसैले गर्दा नदेखेको. Okay, so let us talk what is a referral letter. Referral कस्तो हो referral letter भनेको? Yeah, it's very important to understand. Most commonly आउने चिठी नै यही हो. So referral letter means like you all are nurses, you understand what is the meaning of referral letter. Refer कहिले गर्छौं हामी? When do we refer? When we are working in a particular hospital or a clinic and we are not able to take care of the patient anymore. I mean, we need further advice, we need further assessment, or maybe we need further management or expertise. हामीले दिएको चीजहरुले पुगिराको छैन भनेपछि हामी रिफर गर्छौं normally, isn't it? And similarly, discharge letter, हामी किन discharge गर्छौं? Discharge हुने बित्तिकै, if you see discharge, that means there is always going to be admission. Admission नभइकन त discharge possible छैन. Yeah, and transfer letter I'm going to come back to you in a while. So बुझ्नु सबभन्दा पहिला referral letter भनेको कस्तो हो? OET मा कस्तो अचम्मकाले तालले दिएको हुन्छ कि जस्तै patient is admitted, हैन? So let's see, the patient is admitted. Patient admit भएको हुन्छ and घर गइरा हुन्छ, but तिनीहरूले के भनिदिन्छन्, referral letter हो भनिदिन्छन्. But how is that possible? अनि फेरि patient admitted हुन्छ hospital मै. Yeah, patient फेरि admitted हुन्छ hospital मा. The patient is admitted in the hospital. अनि फेरि patient discharge नै भइराछ अनि यसलाई discharge letter भनिदिन्छ. So दुईटै situation एउटै छ. So it's a very confusing thing sometimes, like initially कति जनालाई. So let me tell you in detail the referral letter, discharge letter, OET ले चाहिँ कसरी frame गर्छ. And since we are medical professionals, we also know a little bit about admission and discharge. तर यसको concept नै अर्कै छ OET मा. And actually, to be honest, it's so stupid. तर अब के गर्ने? We are sitting for the test. We have to understand this. Yeah. अब हेर्नु. I'll give you an example. है. दुईजना मान्छेहरु, let's say I divide the screen in two halves. I'm not very good at sketching, drawing and all, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. यो यतातिर चाहिँ Mr. X. हैन? अनि यो यतातिर चाहिँ Mr. Y. हैन? Mr. X or Mr. Y. Understand this. It's very important to clearly understand. कोही आएन भने, if you don't understand what I'm saying, you can ask me, right? के भयो भन्दाखेरि यो Mr. X को आफ्नै घर छ. He lives in his own house. Yeah, he lives in his own house. He lives in his own. Yeah. अनि Mr. Y, he lives in aged care. He lives in aged care, or you can also say he lives in retirement home. You guys are in the UK. I think you know. You must understand what is a retirement home. कस्तो हुन्छ retirement home भनेपछि, I mean, somebody, they go there purposefully, like kids are not able to take care and they're alone and there's nobody, and then they live in a retirement home. Or sometimes they have certain disease that cannot be tackled at home. घरमा manage गर्न सकिदैन, जस्तै Alzheimer's or dementia. In that case, they also put the patient in a geriatric aged care home or भन्छ. Yeah. The फरक के हो? Mr. X lives in a house, Mr. Y lives in a retirement home. के पो भन्दाखेरि मिस्टर एक्स को 11 बजे राति 11 PM मा राति हिजो रे अचानक shortness of breath हुन थाल्यो. He started having shortness of breath and chest pain हरू एकदम हुन थाल्यो. त्यसपछि fever हुन थाल्यो. And the patient had issue. Fever हरू भयो अनि त्यसपछि यस्तो कुरा भएपछि के गरेछ मिस्टर एक्स त आफ्नै घरमा बस्नुहुन्छ. छोराछोरीले वाइफहरूले के गरेछन् पेशेन्टलाई हस्पिटलमा लगेर गएको छ. Let's say एउटा ब्युटिफुल फोटो बनाइदिउँ हस्पिटलको हस्पिटललाई रातो बनाइदिन्छु म यहाँ लाइक मेक इट रेड. This is the hospital for example. हाम्रो public hospital. यो सबै सरकारी कुराहरू हो because it's covered by the government. You live in the UK, you understand that once there is a tax deduction, obviously, you don't go to the private hospital straight away. You go to government hospitals, public hospitals. सरकारले दिएको कुराहरू to get the free thing. 11 PM मा यस्तो भयो अनि त्यसपछि छोराछोरीहरूले या वाइफले के गरे बोकेर पेशेन्टलाई यहाँ हस्पिटलमा लिएर आयो है. न त्यही सिचुएसन यता भनौँ मिस्टर वाई लिभ्स चाहिँ उहाँ चाहिँ रुम नम्बर 24 मा बस्नुहुन्छ फर इक्जाम्पल उहाँको यो घर हो उहाँको यो रिटायरमेन्ट होम हो यो रिटायरमेन्ट होमको रुम नम्बर 24 मा बस्नुहुन्छ हाम्रो यो मिस्टर वाई. अचानक उहाँलाई फेरि 11 बजे राति नै 11 PM मा त्यही सेम सिम्पटम्स हात दुख्न थाल्यो shortness of breath हुन थाल्यो फिभर पनि हुन थाल्यो एकदम हाई फिभर. के गर्ने त नि तुरन्त इमिडिएटली you know that you guys live in the UK right so care home मा आफ्नै नर्सेस हुन्छन् आफ्नो डाक्टरहरू पनि हुन्छन् कन्सल्टेसनको लागि हैन जीपीहरू आइरहेको हुन्छन् र there is a nurse standing nurses work there हैन कति जना जब पनि गरेर हुन्छन् त्यहाँ. सो इमिडिएटली नर्सले के गर्नुभयो एम्बुलेन्सलाई बोलाएर फेरि what do you do यहाँबाट हामीले के गर्यो पेशेन्टलाई हस्पिटलमा पठाइदिनु है सेम हस्पिटलमा पुग्यो. नाउ द फनी थिङ इज कि लेट्स इमेजिन मिस्टर एक्स के भयो भन्दाखेरि मिस्टर एक्स वाज एडमिटेड इन द हस्पिटल फर लेट्स से 11 days 11 days एडमिट हुनुभयो अनि हामीले तपाईँ दुईजनै नर्सेस हो यहाँ काम गर्ने यो हस्पिटलमा काम गर्ने अनि मिस्टर वाई चाहिँ 10 दिन एडमिट भएर डिस्चार्ज हुनुभयो 10 days दुईटै डिस्चार्ज भइरहेछ नि obviously like look at this let me tell you how the OET uses the logic हैन. अब यहाँ हेर्नु सिचुएसन सो यो पेशेन्ट जुन छ नि obviously आफ्नो घर रिटर्न गर्छै गर्दैन. the patient is going to return home गर्छै गर्दैन आफ्नो घरै जान्छ नि अरु कतै जान्छ जाँदैन. And this patient also Mr. Y obviously is going to return to the retirement home because he doesn't have a home. तर OET ले के भन्छ यो लेटर जुन छ फर्स्ट एरो यो मिस्टर एक्स वाला यो चाहिँ रिफरल लेटर हो अनि यो सेकेन्ड वाला जुन एरो यसलाई वाई लाई चाहिँ यसलाई के भन्छ खोल्छ यसलाई चाहिँ यो मिस्टर वाई वाला यो चाहिँ डिस्चार्ज. ल कस्तो अचम्म कुरा हो सिचुएसन एउटै छ but the left hand side of the screen is a referral letter the right hand side of the screen is a discharge letter. I hope you're understanding. I'm keeping it very, very simple. The only difference between Mr. X and Mr. Y is that Mr. X lives in his own house and Mr. Y lives in the retirement home. So you chithi kalai gaka huncha. So obviously every area ma euta health post just in Nepal ma we have health posts haina. Health poster दिएको हुन्छ त्यसरी every area ma there is going to be like a little clinic or a community health center या त्यस्तो केही हुन्छ बाहिर countries मा especially this exam comes from Australia. So खासमा यो चिठी पेशेन्टले लिएर यहाँको जुन लोकल जुन हुन्छ नि हेल्थ पोस्टमा लगाएर दिने हो अनि यहाँ हुने जुन नर्स हुन्छन् कम्युनिटी नर्स उहाँले चाहिँ पेशेन्ट मिस्टर एक्स को केयर गर्ने हो सबै कुराहरु. अनि यो जुन चिठी गएको हुन्छ यहाँ चाहिँ अलरेडी देयर इज अ नर्स इन द रिटायरमेन्ट होम अनि नर्सले या त्यहाँको प्रोफेसनलले केयर गर्ने. So the difference is कि when you write a letter to the person who referred the patient at the first place, that means the receiver of the letter is going to know who is the patient. So room number 24 मा हुँदाखेरि जुन नर्सले रिफर गर्नुभयो या जुन नर्सको टिमले रिफर गर्नुभयो त्यो टिमले त चिन्छ नि पेशेन्ट मिस्टर वाई लाई. फर इक्जाम्पल लेट्स से Mr. Y has been living in the retirement home for 15 years. भनेपछि 15 वर्षदेखि त्यहाँको सबै स्टाफले चिन्छ नि रुम नम्बर 24 मा एकजना मिस्टर वाई भन्ने बुढो बस्नुहुन्छ राइट. सो जसले रिफर गर्यो त्यही टिमलाई फेरि ब्याक पठाइरहेको छौँ हामीले चिठी हो दिस इज कल्ड द डिस्चार्ज लेटर अनि त्यति मिस्टर एक्सको सिचुएसनमा त daughter brought or maybe the son brought the patient or maybe the wife or maybe the ambulance who cares letter discharge the bhairako cha but the person who is going to read the letter is going to be a new person they don't know about the patient's situation कि त तिनीहरूले तोकिदिनु पर्यो कहिले कहिले यस्तो पनि हुन्छ कि मिस्टर एक्सले के लाई बिरामी हुन थाल्यो मिस्टर एक्सले के गर्नुभयो इमिडिएटली यहाँ जीपीलाई कन्ट्याक्ट गर्नुभयो जीपीको ले चाहिँ के गर्नुभयो पेशेन्टलाई रेफर गरिदिनु भयो इन द्याट केस के भनिदिन्छ राइट अ लेटर ब्याक टु योर जीपी भनिदिन्छ त्यति केसमा चाहिँ जब त्यो चिठी पढेको मान्छे त्यही मान्छे जसले चाहिँ रेफर गरेको छ भने इन द्याट केस इट बिकम्स अ डिस्चार्ज लेटर यस यु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड द डिफरेन्स इट्स भेरी भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट टु नो दिस या एनी क्वेसन सो फार टिप्टा हुन्छ बट आई एम रेकर्डिङ इट सम अफ यु आर लेट सो आई मिन I'll send you the recording anyways. So that's the difference. So let me review this again. Mr. X or Mr. Y, duitaiलाई pneumonia cha. Both have pneumonia. The only difference is that Mr. X lives in his own house. Mr. Y lives in a retirement home. Yeah. So Mr. X suddenly started developing signs of pneumonia, and then the son or daughter or the family members they dragged him to the hospital at 11 p.m. to the public hospital. यो रातो कलरको बट्टा. And Mr. Y, what happened to Mr. Y? Mr. Y also had developed pneumonia. He also started having shortness of breath. He also started having fever. But the nurse on duty referred the patient to the hospital. Yeah, they both stayed in the hospital. Mr. X stayed in the hospital for 11 days. Mr. Y stayed in the hospital for 10 days. Of course, Swastika and Nirmala, you guys are the nurses who fixed the patient. You treated the patient. 10 दिन 11 दिनमा सबै ठीक ठाक पारेर we are returning them to wherever they came from. So when you are sending Mr. X, you give a letter. Yeah, that becomes a referral because the community मा भएको जुन health postहरूको त्यहाँको nurses-हरुले चाहिँ जे पनि गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ त्यो तिनीहरुलाई गरिदिनुहुन्छ. That's a referral letter. And in Mr. Y's case, you're writing to the same team that referred. भन्न खोजेको जसले रिफर गर्यो उसैलाई पठाइराको. That means चिठी पढ्ने मान्छेले पेशेन्टलाई चिन्छ. So it's like, you know, you meet my mother and you say that, oh, you know that Nishant, Dr. Nishant is married. How my mom is going to be surprised, isn't it? What are you talking about? That's my son. And, you know, I was there in his wedding. And if you say that, oh, he has kids, you know, he lives in Kathmandu. यस्तो कुराहरु त मेरो मम्मीलाई थाहा भइहाल्छ नि. So you imagine गर्नु यस्तो कुरा. I'm just giving you an example. So Mr. Y को जुन केयर होमको जुन नर्सलाई हामीले चिठी लेख्यो भने हामीले भन्न जरुरी हुँदैन कि यहाँ 15 वर्षदेखि बस्नुहुन्छ. मलाई त 10 वर्षदेखि हाइपरटेन्सन छ. मलाई एल्जाइमर्स छ, मलाई डायबिटिस छ भन्नु पर्दैन. किन? Because they already know the patient. That is the only difference between a referral letter and a discharge letter. I hope you understand. OET ले most commonly सोध्ने यसरी. Okay? अब आयो तेस्रो the third type of letter that's going to be a transfer letter. Transfer letter भनेको कस्तो लेटर हो फेरि? एकदम इजी छ ट्रान्सफर लेटर. म तपाईलाई एउटा सिधै ट्रिक भनिदिन्छु ट्रान्सफर लेटरको. Whenever you see two cities, यो पहिलाको जुन whatever I drew this one, this is happening within a city. एउटै भित्र जस्तै काठमाडौँ भित्रै भइरहेछ यो. काठमाडौँकोमा एकजनाको घर छ. बिरामी भयो भने त नियरेस्ट हस्पिटलमा जान्छ नि कि के प्लेन लिएर अमेरिका जान्छ ट्रिटमेन्ट गर्न गर्दैन नि obviously. So they will go to the nearest hospital. If the patient gets sick in the retirement home, obviously we'll go to the nearest hospital first, isn't it? So your city ko bhitrai bhairako cha referral letter or discharge letter both. But kaile kasto huncha bhandakeri sometimes what happens is that there are two cities involved. They say that, oh, the patient is from Chitwan and he is moving to Kathmandu. Or patient is from Kathmandu and is moving to Chitwan. In Chitwan, in that case, it becomes a transfer letter. Transfer letter ma jaile pani duita cities herne bittike if you spot two cities, that is a transfer letter. Aileko मैले सबभन्दा राम्रो ट्रिक भन्दिने यही हो. So referral letter मा जसलाई चिठी लेखिरहेछौँ हामीले the person doesn't know the patient. Yes? A discharge letter ma the person to whom, or the nursing professional, the medical professional to whom you are writing the letter, they know the patient. In transfer letter also they don't know. अब जस्तै मैले कोही पेशेन्टलाई यहाँदेखि चितवन पठाइरहेको छु भनेपछि चितवनको मान्छेले चिन्छ? यताको पेशेन्टलाई चिन्दैन नि. It is also kind of referral letter, but the difference is that the patient is no longer going to live in Kathmandu and then will start living in Chitwan अबदेखि त्यसैले यो ट्रान्सफर लेटर भयो दुईटा सहरहरू इन्भल्भ भयो भने that becomes a transfer. Let me show you and so that you get this thing clear. अब हेरौँ है त. So what does the referral letter look like? And actually, to be honest, they tell you exactly त्यो last writing task मा भनिदिएको हुन्छ. Why am I explaining you all this? is कि कहिले कहिले नभनेको बेला चाहिँ कन्फ्युज नहुनु कि ओके ला अब के भयो कुन चाहिँ लेटर हो. You should not have that kind of confusion. That is the reason why I'm telling you. And this thing that I'm going to put on the screen is going to be a homework. Also, I'm going to teach you how to write. Page number 66 much you can note it down. This is going to be a homework. अहिले म यो सिकाउँछु. Check. So this is the letter. I want to go towards the writing task here. I'll type matra bhandirako छु. We'll go through each and every details of the letter in a while. हैन हेर्नु त लास्टमा के लेखेको छ. Using the information in the case note, write a letter of referral. पहिले भनिदिहाल्यो type. हैन कुनै पनि चिठ्ठीमा when you go towards the end there is always going to be a writing task. जहिले पनि writing task हुन्छ. यो लेटरमा या अर्को लेटर हेर्नु. We are going to do all these letters by the way. तर हेर्नु सबैमा लेखेको छ write a referral letter. Writing task सबैमा हुन्छ. Writing task र plan. अब यसमा using the information in the case note, write a letter to Samantha Bruin, senior nurse at Grey Walls Nursing Home. Yeah, and the letter को type it तोक्दिएन. Did they tell you it's a referral letter, discharge letter or transfer letter? छैन. कसरी थाहा पाउने यो discharge letter हो? Nursing home को patient nurse हो यो. भनेपछि शंका गर्नुपर्छ. दिमागमा nursing home, care home, retirement home आउने बित्तिकै you have to suspect that it is a discharge letter. कसरी? हेर्नु. कसलाई लेखिरहेको छौँ हामीले यो senior nurse at कहाँ? Grey Walls Nursing Home. अनि patient को residence हेर्नु त. Patient को social background हेर्नु त. Lives at Grey Walls Nursing Home for 4 years. भनेपछि patient कहाँ बस्ने रहेछ? Patient को आफ्नो घर छैन. The patient is living in a nursing home. बुझ्नुभयो? So what happens is that on the question paper तिनीहरूले जानी बुझी धेरै धेरै नचाहिने कुराहरु इन्फर्मेसन दिएको हुन्छ सोशल नर्सिङ हो. अब जसलाई चिठी लेखिराख्नु भएको छ त्यसलाई भन्नुपर्छ कि यो पेशेन्ट ग्रे वल्स नर्सिङ होममा बस्छ भनेर पर्दैन नि. You do not need to tell that the patient has retired. You do not need to tell the patient that he's in sorry, not the patient, the reader of the letter. If the patient is an aged pensioner, patient को hobby हो, patient को sister हो, patient को 2008 देखि osteoarthritis छ, patient को medical background. यो केही पनि भन्न जरुरी हुँदैन. Why? Because the nurse to whom you're writing, her team is already taking care of the patient for 4 years. They already know each and every medication the patient is on. त्यही एउटा फरक हुन्छ referral letter र discharge letter मा. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So यो letter मा के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि social background र medical background लाई हामीले include गर्नै परेन. Whereas referral letter मा सबै कुरा mention गर्नुपर्छ. I hope you get it. So that's the referral letter and discharge letter. Transfer letter मा एकछिनमा देखाइहाल्छु. Yeah. For now, what I want you to do is please read this. आफ्नै मनमानी पढ्नु त सुरुदेखि लास्टसम्म म यो स्क्रोल गर्दै जान्छु. Just try to understand के रहेछ यो यस्तो पो हुने रहेछ question. You need to have that awareness. Let me know once you finish. है म स्क्रोल गरिदिन्छु त्यही हिसाबले फेरि बोल्नु पर्छ. Let me know once you've read. चुप लागेर बस्नु हुँदैन प्लिज. Let me know once you're done, hey? Let me know once you're done.
I'm done.
Okay, so you must be noticing कि letter मा different sections also. We have history, we have diabetic habits, we have relationship, we have treatment plan. कुनै पनि letter मा जहिले पनि there will be different sections. The most common one is going to be a plan र writing task. जहिले पनि जुन पनि letter मा हुन्छ. Your writing task भनेको it's basically an instruction about the type of letter, the receiver of the letter, चिठी पढ्ने मान्छे को हो, त्यो सबै कुराहरुको डिटेल्स दिएर हुन्छ यहाँ. जस्तै यो letter हेर्नु. यसमा पनि look at this patient's history, family history, birth history के दिइराछ. Look at the other letter. यहाँ पनि marital status, admission date, discharge date, diagnosis, social background, medical background, सबै दिइराछ. There will always be sections, but the most common one is going to be a writing task. Your writing task एकदम common हुन्छ र अर्को discharge plan जहिले पनि जहाँ पनि हुन्छ, जुन पनि ठाउँमा हुन्छ लेटरमा, yeah. And maybe they can change out. कुनै ठाउँमा social history दिएको हुन्छ, कुनै ठाउँमा maybe they give you medical history. तर यति बुझ्नु पर्यो कि every letter will have sections. There's going to be history, diabetic habits, relationship, treatment plan, writing task. सबै लेटरमा हुन्छ. That's a compulsion. You have to understand this. है अब हामीले के गर्नु पर्यो भन्दाखेरि now we have to learn how to convert this letter into a writing. यसलाई अब हामीले चिठीमा चेन्ज गर्नु पर्यो. This is not a question paper. OET ले यसलाई के भन्छ? Case note भन्छ है. So आजदेखि we're going to use this case note as a synonym to question paper. So case note हो हाम्रो यो. Okay? So के भन्ने आजदेखि यसलाई case note. Okay. Now let me teach you. यसलाई म अब तपाईलाई बिस्तारै डिटेल्सहरु सिकाउन थाल्छु. लेटर को कसरी चिठीमा, like how do we convert this into a letter? I'm going to teach you now. Yeah? Let's start this thing. I'm going to show you the structure of the letter पहिला. So letter मा हुन्छ चाहिँ के? No matter which letter you write. Yeah? No matter which letter you write, there will always be sections. त्यो त मैले भनिसके. अर्को इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरा सबैको एउटै कमन हुन्छ लेख्ने फर्मेट. Yeah? Look at this. You're one of my old students who are writing task submission. तपाईँको यही task नै हो. So I'm going to tell you a little bit. Yeah, I know. So there are things that we know since we were kids, you know. जहिले पनि चिठीको कुनै पनि एप्लिकेसन लेख्यो या कुनै पनि फर्मल लेटर लेख्यो भने चिठीको लेफ्ट ह्यान्ड साइड टप कर्नर जहिले पनि चिठी पढ्ने मान्छेको लागि हुन्छ. Yes or no? I mean, we've been writing letter to the class teacher, the principal, the director, the matron. चिठी लेखिरहने. अब even मालपोत कार्यालयदेखि लिएर we are writing letters to so many different offices and professionals. So एउटा कुरा चाहिँ सबै लेटरमा के कमन हुन्थ्यो कि लेफ्ट ह्यान्ड साइडको जुन टप कर्नर हुन्छ त्यो obviously receiver of the letter को लागि डेडिकेटेड हो, हैन? We know this, हैन र? So this is a known information. मैले तपाईलाई भन्न जरुरी छैन. You know this for sure. यो हामीलाई सानैदेखि थाहा छ र अहिले पनि मैले भन्दाखेरि कुनै नयाँ इन्फर्मेसन तपाईलाई दिएको होइन. तर यो चाहिँ नयाँ इन्फर्मेसन दिए मैले तपाईलाई. हाम्रो नेपालीहरुको what do we have? what do? We have a habit of writing the date here. We have a habit of writing date here. होइन र दाहिनेपट्टि राइट साइडको माथि. But OET doesn't accept it. OET ले कि त यहाँ एक्सेप्ट गर्छ कि त यहाँ एक्सेप्ट गर्छ. भनेपछि तपाईँले हामीले सानैदेखि सिकिरहेको जुन बानी छ त्यो युज गर्न पाउनु भएन OET मा. So we don't write the date here. We write our date here with one line space. होइन? त्यसपछि हामीले के भन्छन् सब्जेक्ट लेख्थ्यौँ होइन र or dear लेख्थ्यौँ. By the way, यो dear र RE replace गरे interreplaceable. We can change the place. Dear लाई पहिला लेखेर RE लाई पछि और यो सिस्टरले गरे अनुसार उहाँले लेखे अनुसार RE पहिला dear पछि गरे नि केही फरक पर्दैन. यो RE भनेको फेरि नयाँ कुरा आयो तपाईहरुलाई. What is RE? It's called reference. REF पनि लेख्न पाउँछ. Reference भनेको पेशेन्टको फुल नेम र पेशेन्टको डेट अफ बर्थ लेख्ने. हामीले सब्जेक्ट लेख्ने बानी हुन्थ्यो नि याद छ? Okay, I need 4 days off, I need 10 days off, I need 20 days off, I need 15 days off. त्यस्तो लेखिँदैन चिठी. I was sick for like के. Isn't it? त्यो एप्लिकेसन सब्जेक्टको ठाउँमा RE. So यो नयाँ इन्फर्मेसन आयो तपाईलाई. यो पनि नयाँ इन्फर्मेसन आयो तपाईलाई. यो त हामीलाई सानैदेखि थाहा छ डियर वाला. जस्तै क्लास टिचरलाई चिठी लेख्दाखेरि we wrote a letter to the class teacher. Yeah. Dear sir, madam लेखिन्थेन. Dear madam, respected sir. Principal हुन्छ dear sir, madam, respected sir. लेखिन्थेन. So this is also a known information. I do not need to tell you. So this is a known information. This is completely a known information. यो पनि kind of known हो तर ठाउँ मात्र हामीले चेन्ज गरेको. यहाँ लेखिन्थ्यो यहाँ आउन लाग्यो. एउटा मात्र सबभन्दा नयाँ चीज भनेको हाम्रो के आयो भन्दाखेरि RE पार्ट आयो. बाकी त हामीलाई सानैदेखि थाहा छ. Now you need to memorize this format. र म यो तपाईलाई पठाउँछु पनि अहिले होमवर्क दिन भन्दा अगाडि I'll send you everything. Now what do you have to do? यो फर्मेटलाई फलो गर्नु पर्यो. Irrespective of the type of the letter that you write. You write a referral letter, you write a discharge letter, you write a transfer letter. The format is going to be same. यही हुन्छ format. Okay? र अघि मैले at the beginning of the class I had mentioned कि के हुन्छ हाम्रो 180 to 200 words हुन्छ हैन. यो कुनै पनि काउन्ट हुँदैन. 180 to 200 words मा. बुझ्नुभयो? So the counting begins यो भन्दा तल. Actually introduction पनि काउन्ट हुँदैन. यहाँदेखि काउन्टिङ बिगिन हुने हो. But anyways, let's see कि अहिलेसम्म जे हामीले कुरा गरेको छौं यो कुराहरु यो चाहिँ मैले चित्र बनाउँदै छु यहाँ. Nothing is counted. Okay? Understand this. अब let's go to the other sections of the letter. Lower half of the letter मा जाम. अब यो कुरा पनि हामीलाई थाहा छ सानैदेखि. If you have any queries regarding if you have any questions, please contact me. लेखिन्थ्यो कि लेखिन्थेन? लेखिन्थ्यो नि सानैदेखि थाहा भएको कुरा. You're sincerely, you're faithfully त सानैदेखि लेखिरहेको यो पनि कुरा थाहा छ हामीलाई. र यो पनि काउन्ट हुँदैन. It is a formality in every letters that you write. You write a referral letter, you write a discharge, or you write a transfer letter. It is your responsibility to have this section if you have any query. लेख्नै पर्छ. It is your job, it is your duty. त्यसपछिको माथि अरु कुरा गरौँ. Okay? Remember, यो पनि 180 to 200 words मा काउन्ट हुँदैन. अब let us look at the detailed structure. अब अरु पार्टहरु हेरौँ त. So you notice this is the first paragraph. हैन? Obviously, सबभन्दा फर्स्ट मा सुरु भएको प्याराग्राफले फर्स्ट प्याराग्राफ भन्छ. एसेहरु लेखेको छौं हामीले. What is the first paragraph called? It's called an introduction, isn't it? So first paragraph को synonym introduction पनि हो. We can also call it North Pole. North Pole भनेको माथि के छ भने तल पनि के हुन्छ North Pole भनेको South Pole. Beginning, we can also call it beginning. Similarly, यो beginning हो भने यसको त opposite end मा पनि त के न के होला. This is the ending. है नोटिस गर्नु यो ending होइन है. यो त काउन्टै हुँदैन. That's just merely a formality. In light of the above देखेकोलाई यसलाई भन्छ closing of the letter. भनेपछि first paragraph माथि छ भने यो last paragraph हो. North Pole माथि छ भने यो South Pole हो. माथि beginning छ भने तल ending भयो. माथि introduction छ भने तल conclusion भयो. हैन? Synonyms. I use these words while I teach or edit in the class, so please don't get confused. अब यो in light of the above भनेको छ. So what does this mean exactly? Like literal form मा नेपालीमा ट्रान्सलेट गर्दाखेरि उपरोक्त सम्बन्धमा भन्न खोजेको. So हाम्रो फर्स्ट प्याराग्राफ र लास्ट प्याराग्राफ चाहिँ जहिले पनि इट्स गोइङ टु बी भेरी शॉर्ट हेर्नु छोटो छ एकदमै अब अलिकति सिकौँ हामीले लेट्स अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड लेट्स लर्न अहिले म फेरि ब्याक यसैमा आउँछु हैन अब सिकौँ हाम्रो अर्को पेज आयो वी गोइङ टु लर्न कि इन्ट्रोडक्सनको के विशेषता हुन्छ र कन्क्लुजनको के विशेषता हुन्छ वी गोइङ टु लर्न सो लेट्स टक अबाउट इन्ट्रो फर्स्ट इन्ट्रोको फर्मेट एकदम सिम्पल छ हेर्नु आई एम writing 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 to refer Mrs. Williams Beverly Williams पनि लेख्न पाइन्छ who has अब जुन पनि XYZ यहाँ कुनै पनि अरू पेशेन्टको छ भने सेम फर्मेट युज गर्ने हो जुन पनि लेटरमा I am writing to refer Mrs. Williams who has A B needs B भनेपछि A र B चाहिँ के जन्तु हो What are these A and B's? These are the two things that you need to figure out while before you begin the letter. जस्तै कुनै पनि चिठी स्टार्ट गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि you need to figure out what is A and what is B. A भनेको very simple ongoing issue of the patient. त्यसले त रिफर गरेर हैन र पेशेन्टलाई केही भएकै छैन भने why do we refer ongoing issues? केही न केही भएर त रिफर गरेर हो B भनेको चिठी पढ्ने मान्छेबाट के चाहियो what do you want from the reader? हैन memorize this from now until you sit for the exam and until you succeed you have to memorize this so ongoing issue of the patient what is the ongoing issue of the patient पत्ता लगाउनु पर्यो most commonly diagnosis भन्ने एउटा सेक्सन दिएको हुन्छ त्यसमा दिरा हुन्छ दिएको छैन भने कतै न कतै they will write it in the first or second paragraph of the question paper that is a case note हैन and what do you want from the reader most commonly writing task मा दिएको हुन्छ most commonly writing task मा दिएको हुन्छ र least common writing task मा पनि दिएको हुन्छ र माथि फर्स्ट first paragraph मा पनि दिएको हुन्छ so there are two possibilities one only in the writing task two and in the first paragraph and in the writing task both अहिले त हेर्छौं हामी खोज्छौं यो कुराहरु so यो introduction को कुरा हो अर्को कुरा के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि you should not be writing more than 2 sentences in the introduction of the letter भनेपछि beginning of the letter north pole of the letter opening of the letter चिठीको जुन सुरुवात हुन्छ नि पहिलो प्याराग्राफ त्यसमा you should not be writing more than 40 words यसको मतलब यो हैन कि फेरि 41 words लेख्दै नै पाप लाग्छ I mean try to keep it somewhere around 40 short and sweet धेरै एक्सप्लेन गर्नु हुँदैन पार्ट ए मा सरी पार्ट भन्छ इन्ट्रोडक्सन अफ द लेटर ओके सिमिलरली क्लोजिङ अफ द लेटर को कुरा गरौँ क्लोजिङ भनेको इन्ट्रो भइहाल्यो भने चाहिँ कन्क्लुजन को कुरा गरौँ कन्क्लुजन मा आयो इन लाइट अफ द above kindly manage game over यति हो short and sweet एउटा formality हो एउटा request हुनुपर्छ important part के हो यसको needs to have a request अनि यसको पनि around 20 words लेख्ने 2 sentences maximum तर normally manage यतिकै लेख्दै चल्छ खासमा just a formality केही कुराको सुरुवात भयो भने there is always going to be an ending सुरु हुन्छ भने अन्त्य पनि हुन्छ नि हैन र मुभी स्टार्ट भयो भने मुभी बन्द हुन्छ कुनै चिठी स्टार्ट गरेर भने चिठी पनि सकिन्छ हैन र एउटा नोभल स्टार्ट भयो भने लास्ट प्याराग्राफ पनि त हुन्छ नि हैन र कन्क्लुजन हुन्छ कि हुँदैन एभ्रीथिङ व्हेन वी जन्मिन्छ मर्छ sunrise and sunset pani the same thing like this is also no different so if there is an introduction there is always going to be a conclusion you in light of the above koi considering the above man parcha koi in view of the above man parcha koi just I would appreciate your management bhaner ni lekhna milcha so it is up to you how you write of course I'm going to tell you more and more formats later kun chai tapailai man parcha but just understand ki चिठी को introduction हुने रहेछ र चिठीको conclusion हुने रहेछ र त्यसको बीचमा body paragraphहरु हुने रहेछ you have to understand this okay अब let's talk about A र B A को खोज पताल गरौँ त let's see what is there in A र B खोजौँ त अघिको question paper मा तपाईहरुले पढ्नु भएन you guys read the question paper that is in case note right by the way case note यो केस नोटमा भन्नु त हामीले किन रिफर गरेर हो बेभरली विलियम्सलाई वाइ आर वी रिफरिङ द वाइ आर वी रिफरिङ बेभरली विलियम्स रिजन के हो एभ्रीबडी स्पिक
Because she needs education.
त्यो त she needs education is what do you want from the
B.
reader चिठी पढ्ने मान्छेबाट के चाहियो हामीलाई हेल्थ एजुकेसन प्रोग्राम या त्यो त चाहिएको कुरा हो
Yeah.
पेशेन्टलाई के भइरहेछ व्हाट्स गोइङ अन विथ द पेशेन्ट द्याट इज लिडिङ टु अ रिफरल
Developed diabetes.
होइन डायबिटिज त 8 वर्षदेखि छ अहिले कहाँबाट हामीलाई अचानक याद आयो रिफर गर्न
It's uncontrolled
Exactly.
now. That's why.
Yes, uncontrolled diabetes. यही नै हो main point. So in the introduction of the letter, अघिको लेटरमा जाम, let's go back to that same point and let's put it there and you will understand what I am exactly talking about. So see, I am writing to refer Mrs. Williams who has uncontrolled diabetes. She needs के? Health education program. अघि मैले के कुरा गरेको थिएँ what do you want from the reader वाला जुन पार्ट छ चिठी पढ्ने मान्छेबाट के चाहिएको छ त्यो आइदर फर्स्ट प्याराग्राफमा दिएको हुन्छ कि त राइटिङ टास्कमा दिएको हुन्छ लेट अस प्रुभ द्याट पोइन्ट म तपाईलाई डेमोन्स्ट्रेट गर्छु त्यो कुरा कहिले कहिले प्लानमा पनि हुन सक्छ है सो सी यु गाइज आर क्लेभर इनफ यु विल अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड दिस सो फर्स्ट प्याराग्राफ होइन यही सबभन्दा फर्स्टमा इन्ट्रोडक्सन त के चाहियो हामीलाई पब्लिक हेल्थ नर्सलाई चिठी लेखिरहेको हो अनि चाहियो के पब्लिक हेल्थ नर्सबाट हेल्थ एजुकेसन प्रोग्राम Now, when you go towards the end of the letter, and who is that public health nurse? The public health nurse's name is Miss Michela, or Michela Mansura. Public health nurse, right? Canterbury Road, blah, 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 blah. के चाहिएको छ? Expand the relevant notes in the treatment plan, requesting that Miss Mansura takes over typing error. Takes over the management of this patient. भनेपछि हामीले यो पनि लेख्न पाइयो त्यहाँ I am writing to refer Mrs. Williams who has uncontrolled diabetes. Second, kindly take over the management त्यसरी लेख्न नि पाइयो but दुईतिरै दिएको छ भने what do you want from the reader भनेपछि एउटालाई नर्थ पोलमा लेख्दिने एउटालाई साउथ पोलमा लेख्दिने त्यसो हो भने लकी भयो र मोस्ट कमनली दे विल गिभ इट इन द राइटिङ टास्क है र लिस्ट कमन कहिले कहिले ट्रिटमेन्ट प्लानमा पनि आइदिन्छ Yeah, I hope we're clear with the introduction of the letter and the introduction of the letter, closing of the letter. Format घोक्नै पर्यो, memorize हुनै पर्यो. There is no shortcut. कुनै पनि चिठी हेर्ने बित्तिकै you have to find it. Now let me show you other letters. Yeah, के भएको हुन्छ पेशेन्टको दिदिएको हुन्छ. यही छ यही हेर्नु. के भएको छ पेशेन्टलाई mild constipation, dehydration त्यसले गर्दा रिफर गर्दा. Ongoing of the issue of the patient, they will give it, and you will have to find it. र मोस्ट कमनली डायग्नोसिसमा दिएको हुन्छ असेसमेन्टमा दिएको हुन्छ र यो केसमा फर्स्ट प्याराग्राफमा लुगाएर दिएको हुन्छ राइट अब क्वेसन आउँछ कि नाउ ओके नाउ वी हेभ फिगर्ड आउट व्हाट डु वी डु विथ द इन्ट्रोडक्सन अफ द लेटर वी हेभ फिगर्ड आउट व्हाट डु वी डु विथ द कन्क्लुजन अफ द लेटर भनेपछि यो हिस्ट्री डायबेटिक ह्याबिट्स रिलेसनसिप र ट्रिटमेन्ट प्लानको के गर्ने अब हामीले अचार पार्ने के गर्ने अब यसलाई कतै न कतै लेख्नु पर्यो फर्स्ट प्याराग्राफ त हामीलाई थाहा पाइसक्यो आई मिन वी नो व्हाट टु डु विथ द फर्स्ट प्याराग्राफ भनेपछि सेकेन्ड प्याराग्राफ कुन हुन्छ अब थर्ड प्याराग्राफ कुन हुन्छ फोर्थ प्याराग्राफ कुन हुन्छ हो यही डिसिजनले मार्क्स दिने हो तपाईलाई सो देयर आर मेनी क्राइटेरिया अगेन्स्ट विच यु आर गोइङ टु बी मार्क्ड त्यो म पछि पछि भन्दै जान्छु आइ एम नट गोइङ टु पुट लोड अन यु आई वान्ट एभ्रिथिङ भेरी सिम्पल फर यु द्याट यो टास्क तपाईँले सबमिट गरेपछि आई वान्ट टु इभ्यालुएट योर लेभल अफ इङ्ग्लिस फर्स्ट अफ अल होइन यो तपाईँको होमवर्क पनि हुन्छ आई हेभ अलरेडी टोल्ड यु इन्ट्रोडक्सन क्लोजिङ सो डोन्ट टेल मी मोर देन आई डोन्ट नो व्हाट हाउ टु राइट एक्चुअली आई हेभ अलरेडी टोल्ड यु हाउ टु राइट Yeah, एउटा अझै लेख्नु नोटबुकमा you have a notebook and pen, pencil, whatever in front of you. Please note down कि treatment plan जहिले पनि second last paragraph हो. Treatment plan जहिले पनि second paragraph हो. अनि of course there are certain ways you can manipulate the letter, but we are not learning how to run at the moment. This is your first day. We are learning how to walk. अहिले हिँड्न सिकिरहेको छौँ उभिन सिकिरहेको छौँ होइन सो त्यसको लागि यो पोइन्ट नोट गर्नु पछि मैले भनेको अहिले यो रुल हुन्छ नि म आफै टुटाउँछु पछि टुटाउन नमिल्न नै सक्छ you can but if you want to score very high there are many things that you should know but I'm going to teach that after you write 10-11 letters 10 लेटर कटिसकेपछि बल्ल त्यो म्यानिपुलेसन सिक्ने त्योभन्दा पहिला सबभन्दा ढुक्क युके को क्राइटेरिया कति हो त्यति पुगाउन सिक्ने हो कि एक्जाममा इफ यु डोन्ट नो व्हाट टु डु एटलिस्ट 3 चाहिँ आउनु पर्यो त्यसपछि एक्सपेरिमेन्टेसनहरु 10-11 लेटर लेखेपछि सिकाउँछु म बट बिफोर द्याट वी जस्ट गोइङ टु म्यानिपुलेट अ लिटल बिट कता कुन प्याराग्राफ कता राख्ने त्यति मात्र सिकाउँछु म एन्ड आइम गोइङ टु चेक यु ग्रामर आइम गोइङ टु चेक यु राइटिङ एभ्री डे अन अ डेली बेसिस एन्ड आइम गोइङ टु गिभ यु फिडब्याक ओके सो अब रुल लेख्नु त त्यहाँ रुल ट्रिटमेन्ट प्लान जहिले पनि सेकेन्ड लास्ट प्याराग्राफ द्याट मिन्स इन लाइट अफ दि अब भनेको लास्ट प्याराग्राफ हो इफ यु हेभ एनी क्वेरिज इज नट कन्सिडर लेट मी रिपिट नट कन्सिडर एज द लास्ट प्याराग्राफ in light of the above, जुनमा चाहिँ त्यो उपरोक्त सम्बन्धमा थियो that's the south pole of the letter, that's the conclusion of the letter, that's the last paragraph of the letter, that's the ending of the letter. त्यसको ठ्याक्कै एक स्टेप माथिको प्याराग्राफ लाइक ट्रिटमेन्ट प्लान राख्नु ट्रिटमेन्ट प्लानको प्लेसमेन्ट त्यहाँ हुन्छ जहिले पनि we always put treatment plan just before the closing of the letter. भनेपछि अब in our letter we already have figured out what is the introduction. In our letter we have already figured out what is the conclusion. In our letter we have already figured out where to put the treatment plan. But how many sections are left? Relationships, diabetic habits, or history. अब कुन चाहिँ second paragraph हाम्रो कसरी थाहा पाउने? There is a trick to that. So listen to me very carefully when I'm talking now. So we talked about A and B a while ago, होइन? अनि स्वस्तिका and निर्मला, you both told that A भनेको सर uncontrolled diabetes भएर हो. Agree? हामी सबै एग्री गरेर यो कुरामा भनेपछि सेकेन्ड प्याराग्राफमा के लेख्ने त नि अहिलेदेखि एक्जाम बसुन्जेलसम्म मेमोराइज गर्नु र इभन व्हेन यु डु रिफरल लेटर्स व्हाइल यु वर्क इन क्लिनिकल सेटिङ रिमेम्बर दिस ए लाई प्रुभ गर्ने हो कि त ए र बी को कम्बिनेसनलाई प्रुभ गर्ने हो सेकेन्ड प्याराग्राफमा सो ए ले के भन्दैछ अनकन्ट्रोल डायबिटिज सो तपाई भन्नु त मलाई हिस्ट्रीले प्रुभ गर्छ अनकन्ट्रोल डायबिटिज कि डायबेटिक ह्याबिट्सले प्रुभ गर्छ कि अनकन्ट्रोल डायबिटिज कि रिलेसनशिपले प्रुभ गर्छ अनकन्ट्रोल डायबिटिज यु टेल मी आई एम नट आस्किङ दिस क्वेसन as somebody who's preparing for OET, but general question as a nurse. कुन चाहिँ diabetic habits ले prove गर्छ? Which one proves uncontrolled diabetes? History, diabetic habits, or relationship? तपाईं आफै भन्नु.
Diabetic habits.
That's correct. भनेपछि हाम्रो second paragraph कुन हुने भयो?
Diabetic habits.
Diabetic habits. And third paragraph?
Third paragraph.
History relationship.
Can you score? I think history.
Yes, correct. This one way छ अनि relationship त्यसपछि हैन. But let us do a little bit of mathematics. एकदम छर्लङ्ग. It will be so clear to you. Now I'm going to tell you in such a way. हेर्नु है. C plus ल्याउनु र B band ल्याउनुमा फरक के हुन्छ त्यो पनि थाहा पाउ म भन्छु तपाईलाई अहिले. So कतिवटा पोइन्ट चाहिँ यहाँ हेरौँ है त लेट्स काउन्ट 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 वटा पोइन्ट छ एग्री हैन अब लेट्स टक इन्ट्रोडक्सनमा के लेखेको छ निर्मला यु शुड अल्सो पार्टिसिपेट डोन्ट कीप क्वाइट मसँग लाज मानेर के फाइदा यु हेभ टु टक एभ्रीबडी हेज टु टक सो 12 वटा पोइन्ट छ इन्ट्रोडक्सनमा हामीले के लेख्यो uncontrolled diabetes. Swastika, your network is going. Be near the router. So, 12 point ma introduction ma ke lekho A part ma uncontrolled diabetes. So let's see. Type 2 non-insulin dependent diabetes onset 8 years ago. यसले uncontrolled diabetes prove गर्छ कि गर्दैन गर्छ किन गर्छ अरे डायबिटिज छ त्यसैले त uncontrolled छ if there is no diabetes how is it going to be uncontrolled right prescribe tablets soon after the diagnosis. It is related to diabetes, but it is not the reason why the patient has uncontrolled diabetes. Yes or no? It is related to diabetes, but it doesn't prove कि यो इन्फर्मेसन जुन दिएको छ सेकेन्ड नम्बरको पोइन्टमा कि ट्याब्लेट हुन्छ नि डायग्नोसिस हुने बित्तिकै खान थाल्यो पेसेन्टले यसले गर्दा अनकन्ट्रोल डायबिटिज भएको होइन नि सो जुन चाहिँ डिरेक्टली लिङ्क छैन त्यसलाई म गोलो गोलो बनाउँदैछु र जुन डिरेक्टली लिङ्क छ त्यसलाई म टिक हान्दैछु है Let's see. No problem with sugar infection. It is related, but not the reason why the patient has uncontrolled diabetes. Has monitored urine with sticks at home. Related, but not the reason why. Not the reason why the diabetes is uncontrolled. Not always well controlled. Of course, 100% relevant information. Does not care about diet regime. 100% related. to uncontrolled diabetes. High BP for the past 5 years on medication. यसले गर्दा भएको uncontrolled diabetes? Of course होइन. Overweight for past 30 years. Correct? Vision okay. Vision okay छ भने यसले गर्दा uncontrolled diabetes भएको? होइन. चस्मा 20 वर्षदेखि लाउँछ यसले गर्दा uncontrolled diabetes भएको? होइन. Grandmother had diabetes, died of gangrene of the foot. हजुरबुवालाई डायबिटिज भएर उहाँलाई अनकन्ट्रोल डायबिटिज भएको? नो. तपाईले सोच्नुहुन्छ होला ए फ्यामिली हिस्ट्री दिइरहेछ किन इम्पोर्टेन्ट छैन लेख्नलाई सरले किन यो इम्पोर्टेन्ट भन्नु भएन? लेट मी टेल यु रिजन. जब पेशेन्टको डायग्नोसिस भइरहेको हुन्छ डक्टरले सबभन्दा पहिला सोध्छ नि डु यु हेभ अ फ्यामिली हिस्ट्री, डु यु हेभ अ फ्यामिली हिस्ट्री. द पेशेन्ट हेज अलरेडी बिन डायग्नोस्ड विथ टाइप 2 नन इन्सुलिन डिपेन्डेन्ट डायबिटिज 8 years ago. भनेपछि हजुरआमाको खुट्टा काट्यो हजुरआमा को ग्याङ्ग्रिन भएर जेसुकै होस् डायबिटिज हो त्यसले गर्दा भएको अनकन्ट्रोल डायबिटिज हुँदै होइन नि. It is related. They're trying to confuse you, but it is not the reason why the patient grandmother को gangrene भएको हुनाले डायबिटिज भयो अनकन्ट्रोल होइन नि. grandmother को gangrene ले गर्दा डेथ भएको हुनाले भएको होइन नि. I mean, it is partially related, but it's not the reason why the patient has uncontrolled diabetes. Husband is also diabetic. यो पनि related. Husband diabetic भएर उहाँको uncontrolled भएको होइन नि. And but it is related. तर not directly relevant. भनेपछि कति पोइन्ट आयो? 12 वटा पोइन्टमा कतिवटा पोइन्ट डाइरेक्टली रिलेटेड छ?
4.
4 मार्क्स आयो 12 मा है त. हेर्नु है. I'm making it super simple for you guys. है ल यो एकछिन मेटे. अब let's go towards diabetic habits. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 10 वटा छ. Yeah, यसको कुरा गरौँ. Let's talk in the same way that we do. हैन, no special diet. हो यसले गर्दा tries not to have sugar. यसले गर्दा होइन. Buys diabetic cordial. के हो हामीलाई थाहै छैन. I mean, in the exam, if you don't know the meaning, what to do? थाहा छैन, maybe हो, maybe होइन. I don't know. Tastes food while preparing meal in the kitchen. Of course, नराम्रो बानी. Eats cream cakes at afternoon tea time. नराम्रो बानी. Loves food, गुलियो गुलियो. नराम्रो बानी. Unaware of consequences of careless diet. नराम्रो बानी. Has trouble losing weight. नराम्रो बानी. Very little exercise. नराम्रो बानी. त्यो माथिबाट ड्रिङ्क पनि गर्नुहुन्छ. राम्रो बानी कि नराम्रो बानी? Obviously नराम्रो बानी. 10 पोइन्टमा कतिवटा आयो यसको रिलेटेड? 1 2 3 4 8 वटा. भनेपछि कसको धेरै मार्क्स आयो? डायबिटिक हैबिट्स को.
Diabetic habit.
अनि माथि कति आएको थियो हाम्रो? 4/12 हैन? Yes, 4/12 थियो हैन? Okay. Now let me tell you what is the difference between getting a B band and what is the difference of getting a B band and a C+. So mostly candidatesहरूले के गर्दिन्छन् भन्दाखेरि जसरी लेखेको छ त्यसरी छाप्दिन्छन्. भन्न खोजेको कि एउटा बक्स खोले नै त्यो बक्सको सबै कन्टेन्ट लेखिदिने बानी हुन्छ के. So one thing you will not deny is कि यो 8 वटा त directly related to diabetic habits. Yes or no? यो पनि 4 वटा directly related to diabetic habits. भनेपछि 12 - 4 कति हुन्छ? 8 हुन्छ. यो चाहिँ unrelated भयो. Yes. अनि यहाँ चाहिँ 10 - 8 दुई वटा चाहिँ unrelated भयो. Yes. So यो unrelated चीजहरु जुन छ नि यहाँ 10 वटा यसलाई थर्ड प्याराग्राफ बनाइदिने अनि जुन रिलेटेड छ यसलाई जोडेर सेकेन्ड प्याराग्राफमा लेख्यौं भने बी ब्यान्ड आउँछ. And if you write separately, 4 वटा भएकोलाई एउटामा लेख्दिने 8 वटा भएकोलाई अर्कोमा लेख्दिने यसले C+ आउँछ. That's the difference. But you can do in whichever way you want. I just want to see how you approach the letter. अब similarly, let's talk about the relationships. Relationship पनि कुरा गर्दिन. एउटा यो पनि त सेक्सन छ नि हामीसँग. So whatever you said, it's correct. Diabetic habits is going to be our second paragraph because it gets the most points. And then comes the history. But the wiser way to write, the better way to write is to choose every specific paragraph बाट कुन चाहिँ relevant छ सबै relevant लाई mix गरेर एक ठाउँमा लेखेको त्यस्तो गर्यो भने बी ब्यान्ड आउँछ. अब रिलेशनशिपको कुरा गरौँ. लेट्स टक अबाउट रिलेशनशिप. 4 वटा बच्चा all married, all adults. यसले गर्दाखेरि अनकन्ट्रोल डायबिटिज हो? होइन. गेट हस्बेन्डसँग राम्रो रिलेसनशिप छ यसले गर्दाखेरि रिलेसनशिप अनकन्ट्रोल डायबिटिज हो? होइन. लाइक्स भिजिटिङ अ डोर इन द कन्ट्री. गाउँमा गएर आफ्नो छोरीलाई भेट्न मन पराउनुहुन्छ यसले गर्दा अनकन्ट्रोल डायबिटिज भयो? होइन. ह्याज एक्टिभ सोसल लाइफ, भिजिट्स फ्रेन्ड यसले गर्दा अनकन्ट्रोल डायबिटिज भयो? होइन. यो रिलेसनशिप कामै छैन यो देयर इज नो रेलेभेन्स तपाईँले यत्तिकै जानेपछि दिएको यो कन्फ्युज बनाउनलाई सो वी आर नट गोइङ टु इभन मेन्सन दिस इन आवर लेटर नभए when you start mentioning everything that they give you on the question paper, you're going to exceed 200 words. You're going to reach 300, 250 words. So you should always choose the things or the information that is specific to the ongoing issue of the patient. Baki sabai phaldine. It is rest everything is useless. I hope you understand. So relationship ko ke kaam hai bhayena. So we have already established everything. So we already know what is the content of the introduction of the letter. We already know the content of the closing of the letter. That is the ending of the letter. Second last paragraph, treatment plan. So there is no challenge, no comment on that. But our second paragraph, diabetic habits. Third paragraph, history. Relationship. Bye bye. So now I'm going to send you this. Please don't forget, this is page number 66. You have to submit this homework tomorrow for correction. I'm going to teach you a million ways to write this letter. And it's going to open your mind. It's going to broaden your horizon. Yeah? Any questions so far? Any questions?
China.
Okay. So you will get this shortly. I'll put it on the group. You'll get this immediately after the class is over. Now let us go to the other section. That's going to be our speaking. Yeah. We need to understand a little bit about speaking. I'm going to give you a few tasks, certain tasks, or memorize, and you have to do that at any cost. And because that's the beginning of everything we do. Aba, check. You can note it down. So first of all, let's know the timing. 3-3-5. Yeah, let's increase the size so that you understand. So initial 3 minutes it's just a warm up. 5 minutes. They check your passport or they check your citizenship. You guys are in the UK, so obviously you're going to use a passport. So they check all the credentials. They introduce themselves, who they are, and they ask for your name and check and then they ask you to sign at certain places. They can ask you a few questions just to make you comfortable. Like, why did you decide to be a nurse? Can you tell me about yourself? Can you tell me about your family? What are your career aspirations? There can be any questions. I'll give you a few warm-up questions. The most important part of this test is not evaluated. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's a joke, but the thing is, यसको केही भ्यालु छैन यो तपाईलाई कम्फर्टेबल बनाउनलाई मात्र any candidate in the exam gets a bit anxious at the edge त्यो calm down गर्नलाई interlocutor भनेको तपाईको examiner जसको स्पिडहरु तपाईको बोल्नेको स्पिडहरु सबै हेर्नलाई र examको instructionsहरु दिनलाई यो सुरुको 3 minutes युज गरिन्छ. It has no value, remember. After your 3 minutes भनेको यो preparation time. त्यसपछि आउँछ हाम्रो यो आउँछ हाम्रो writing time. Sorry, writing was just speaking, actual speaking. त्यसपछि हाम्रो फेरि preparation time. फेरि actual speaking. So दुईटा task आउने रहेछ. That's going to be your, this is the first task. This is your task 1. And this is your task 2. Yeah. The preparation time, actual speaking, preparation time, actual speaking. So यो तपाईको के हुन्छ? Recorded हुन्छ. It is not like, the person who is sitting in front of you has the power to mark you. The person who's sitting in front of you in the exam is just the actor who is portraying the role of a patient, and you're the nurse. And that's going to be recorded, and it is going to be sent somewhere else for evaluation. Yeah, most popular Philippines. Yeah, from Nepal, but I don't know what happens in the UK for you guys. But that's the name. It's going to be recorded always. And this task is over, and then they give you another task. You have 3 minutes of preparation time, and then you have actual speaking, and you speak for 5 minutes, and it's going to be recorded and it's sent somewhere else for evaluation. So, kati bho total time? 3, 3, 5, 3, 5. 5, 3, 8, 8 plus 8, 16, 16 plus 3, 19, 20 minutes ko approximate examination ho yo. Aba kasto huncha ta ni? What does the question paper look like? क्वेसन पेपर त हुँदैन बट इट्स कल्ड अ क्यू कार्ड है जसरी अघि राइटिङको क्वेसन पेपरलाई हामीले के भन्थ्यौँ केस नोट त्यसरी नै यसलाई हामीले भन्छौँ क्यू कार्ड ओके न्यू vocabs कति कुरा नयाँ सिकिराख्नुपर्छ so it will take you few days to get a hang of please read it from the beginning till the end one and I'm going to explain you everything
Yes, sir, I'm here.
you are here oh yeah sorry you're here who's not here there's one more person who's not here somebody's not here oh, sorry Nirmala is here Srijana is not here Nirmala you're in Nepal or in the UK
Nepal, sir.
oh you're in Nepal okay yeah Srijana is in the UK not here all right sorry yeah Porno finish it and then let me know
Yes, sir. Next.
okay so this is the nurse part you must be noticing at the left hand side the block letter the bold letter as a nurse obviously you're sitting for the OET nursing so you're the candidate you're the nurse similarly patient part pani huncha but the patient part you're not allowed to see that's going to be in my hands so every day when we have the classes you and I'm going to be a patient you're going to be my nurse jaile pani that's how it works okay so you later have हेर्नु त्यसको यो पार्टमा त पाउनुहुन्छ यो कुरा तपाईको प्रिन्टेड फर्ममा हुन्छ इफ यु डुइङ द पेपर बेस्ड इफ इट्स गोइङ टु बी इन फ्रन्ट अफ यर स्क्रिन इफ यु डुइङ अ कम्प्युटर बेस्ड र यसलाई हेरी यसलाई पढी यसलाई सबै कुरा गर्दै यु क्यान डु आई मिन यु क्यान रिड it's going to be constantly in front of your eyes you can even write on it they will also give you an additional blank paper on which you can prepare mark ready गर्न मिल्छ yeah remember so let's learn the anatomy of this sheet your cue card setting भनेको कहाँ कन्भर्सेसन भइरहेको छ नर्सेसहरुको लागि OET स्पिकिङमा तीनटा सिचुएसन हुन्छ एउटा सिचुएसन इनपेशेन्ट डिपार्टमेन्ट र मोस्ट कमनली इट्स गोइङ टु बी इनपेशेन्ट डिपार्टमेन्ट त्यसपछि आउटपेशेन्ट डिपार्टमेन्ट क्लिनिक अनि थर्ड भनेको होम केयर के रे होम भिजिट जुन चाहिँ नेपालमा होम भिजिट त गर्दैनौँ हामी इफ यु वर्क इन एनी हस्पिटल यु आर नट सपोज टु बी होम भिजिटिङ इज इट त्यो तपाईको तीनटा सिनारियो हो यो चाहिँ पर्टिकुलर हामीले स्टार्ट नै यहीबाट गर्छौँ दिस इज गोइङ टु बी इन्फेक्सन सो यो तपाईको के हो भन्दाखेरि यहाँदेखि यहाँसम्मको द्याट्स अ ब्याकग्राउन्ड द्याट मिन्स वाट डु यु नो अबाउट द पेसेन्ट वाट यु क्यान प्रिटेन्ड टु नो अबाउट द पेसेन्ट होइन अनि त्यसपछि यो चाहिँ तपाईँको टास्कहरू यो कम्प्लिट गर्नुपर्छ तपाईँले आई मिन इट्स नट इम्पोर्टेन्ट फिनिस एभ्रिथिङ सो जहाँ 5 मिनट सक्यो त्यही बट आई मिन यु सुड ट्राई यु बेस्ट टु फिनिस है यो यसो हेऱ्यो वी हेभ नट डन एनिथिङ यट तपाईँले पढ्नुभयो बुझ्नुभयो ए यस्तो पो हुने रहेछ आई जस्ट वान्ट टु बी अवेयर ए यस्तो पो हुने रहेछ त्योभन्दा धेरै मलाई केही पनि चाहिएको छैन अहिले डे 1 मा ओके कुनै पनि क्यू कार्डमा यस्तै नै दिएको हुन्छ डिफ्रेन्ट सिचुएसन हुन्छ एन्ड दे गिभ यु डिफ्रेन्ट सिनारियोज यो चाहिँ अब सिओपिडी भएको पेसेन्ट हो स्मोकिङ गर्नुहुन्छ तपाईँले चाहिँ चोडर छोड्न भन्नुभयो अब यो ग्यास्ट्राइटिस भएको पेसेन्ट हो हेभी ड्रिङ्किङ गर्नुहुन्छ त्यसरी नै होइन डिफ्रेन्ट सेटिङ्सहरू दिएर हुन्छ यो हस्पिटल वार्डमा आमा आफ्नो बच्चासँग आएको छ एडमिसनको लागि you know you have to talk about the bedtime you have to talk about the food preference you have to talk about if the child is toilet trained यस्तो कुराहरु आउँछ okay let us remove this I'll send this one also for you यो पनि तपाईले हेर्न पाउनुहुन्छ play page number this is going to be page 8 sorry page 3 मा यो तपाईको छ you don't need to prepare anything मैले देखाउन मात्र खोजेको हेर्नु यस्तो हुन्छ भनेर I'm going to teach you properly tomorrow. But त्योभन्दा पहिला सब अर्को इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरा के हो भन्दाखेरि you need to memorize few things that I give you. I'm going to put it on the screen right now. यो चाहिँ criteria of OET speaking. यसको against you're going to be marked in the examination. Yeah, there are two types of criteria, linguistic र clinical. Linguistic लाई हामीले अहिले मतलब दिदैनौं. We focus only on these that you're seeing on the screen. अब म तपाईहरुलाई certain कुरा note गर्न भन्छु and please note it now and you have to memorize only those. 8 वटा मात्र भन्छु म, अरु कुनै भन्छु. Note it down. लेख्नु त सबैजना. निर्मला स्वास्थ्यको दुईजना A1 A4 B1 B3 C2 D2 E1 र E4. यो 8 वटा बिग्रेर जहिले पनि फेल हुने हो क्यान्डिडेट्सहरु मेरो एक्सपिरियन्स अनुसार. So the first thing मैले तपाईलाई एड्रेस गर्ने भने यही 8 वटा. र अफ कोर्स ए त सबभन्दा इम्पोर्टेन्ट भइहाल्यो नि. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So A मा दुईटा चाहिँ A1 A4, B1 मा B1 B3 छ, C मा C2 लाई मात्र मार्क गरेको छु मैले, D मा D2 लाई मात्र मार्क गरेको छु, E मा E1 र E4 लाई मात्र मार्क गरेको छु. Noted? Swastika and Nirmala? यसले तपाईको
Yes, sir.
स्पिकिङ को बेसिस दिन्छ के यो हामीले OET को वेमा गर्ने पर्छ हैन. Actually it's an advantage for you as well. अस्कीहरुमा पछि फाइदा हुन्छ and the way you talk to the patient it will change because of these criteria. Actually it's very scientific and very logical. म तपाईलाई यो सबै कुरा सिम्प्लिफाई गरिदिन्छु. So first task के गर्नु पर्यो तपाईले, you have to memorize this. एकदम सिम्पल छ हेर्नु, अलिअलि म एक्सप्लेन गरिदिन्छु. A1 भनेको के? A1 भनेको के? Greetings, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Introduction भनेको hello, my name is Swastika. I'm your attending nurse here. What is your name? How do I address you? त्यो भनेको introduction. Nature of interview भनेको के कुरा गर्न जान लाग्नु भएको छ? Why are you there? Why are you near the patient? So background बाट हेर्दिने. So see, I'm here to talk to you about smoking cessation. I've come to know from the notes that you are a smoker and I'm here to talk to you about this. Is that okay? त्यसलाई भन्छन् A1. अघिको स्मोकिङ केस थियो नि त हैन त. A4 भनेको if patient is happy you show the happiness, if the patient is sad you show the sadness. Patientले भन्छ, patientले तपाई सोध्नु के छ? How are you? Patient says, I'm feeling well. Oh, I'm very happy that you're feeling well. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about your hospitalization because of chronic pulmonary disease. यो भनेको A4 बाट पोइन्ट आयो. B1 भनेको चासो कसरी गर्ने भने जस्तै मैले भने मेरो टाउको दुखिरहेछ. सिस्टरहरु मेरो टाउको दुखिरहेछ नि तपाईले क्वेशन सोध्नुमा. कहिलेदेखि दुखिरहेछ सर? के औषधि खानुभयो? Did you take any medication? When did it start? How do you rate your pain in the scale of 0 to 10? Yeah? Has it happened before? Do you have a family history? कहाँबाट आयो यो क्वेशन्सहरु? You generated. त्यो हो B1 भन्ने. आफै त्यो हुन्छ नि खुल्दुली जो हुन्छ नि मेडिकल प्रोफेसनलको त्यो हो. So if I'm talking about smoking, how long have you been smoking? Why do you smoke? What makes you smoke? How many cigarettes do you smoke? Have you ever tried quitting smoking? यो सबै चासो हैन. So यो कुराहरु दिएको हुँदैन क्वेशन पेपरमा. You have to create by yourself. B1 भनेको यो. B3 भनेको एउटा लजिकल एक्सप्लेनेसन दिनु पर्यो पेशेन्टलाई. हैन? पेशेन्टको अब के एक्सप्लेनेसन दिनु पर्यो? I'll tell you in Nepali or I can tell you in English both. So from what I understand from your answers, you've been smoking for 20 years. You smoke around 20 cigarettes per day. This is the reason why you have chronic pulmonary disease. And this is the reason why you're hospitalized. So my first suggestion to you, the only suggestion that I have for you is to reduce the number of cigarettes that you smoke. यही होइन र एजेन्डा चुरोट छोडाउने. 11 B3. Let us not talk about C2 at the moment. Let us not talk about D2 at the moment. E1 भनेको establishing initially what the patient already knows. Do you know why you're admitted here? Do you know the consequence of smoking? Do you know what smoking does to the health? त्यो भनेको E1 हो. हेर्नु त? Establishing initially what the patient already knows. Patient लाई कति थाहा छ आफ्नो कन्डिसनको बारेमा. किनभने every Q card भनेको क्वेशन पेपर स्पिकिङ को पेशेन्टले एकचोटी न एकचोटी कच कच जहिले पनि गर्छ. छोड्नु भने छोड्दै छोड्दैन. नाइ म छोड्दिन. मलाई फ्यामिली स्ट्रेस छ, मलाई जब स्ट्रेस छ, I don't want, I cannot भनिदिन्छ। त्यति बेला चाहिँ we have to talk logically, okay? स्मोकिङले क्यान्सर गराउन सक्छ, तपाईँकै अहिले जुन COPD छ त्यही नै वर्सन हुन सक्छ, हार्ट प्रब्लम्सहरू हुन सक्छ, यो हुन सक्छ, त्यो हुन सक्छ। There are so many things that there are so many disease conditions that are related to smoking. So you should try. हामीले मजाले कन्भिन्स गरेर नि मान्छ पेशेन्ट। या E4 भनेको do you understand me, do you get me, are you following me, are you getting me, कुनै पनि कुराहरू भनिराख्नु भएको छैन। मैले पुरै डिटेलमा भनेको छैन, मैले खुइ भनिदिरहेको छु। Maybe it is a bit overwhelming for you. मैले यसलाई एकदमै डिटेलमा तपाईलाई भोलि भन्छु। But you have to memorize these 8 criteria I'm going to ask you. यो नभइकन स्पिकिङ गर्नै सक्नुहुन्न तपाईले, because we mark you on this basis. तपाईको मार्क्स यही बेसिसमा आउने हो र तपाईको यो A1, A4, B1, B3 हरु स्पिकिङमा छैन भने you will not pass the examination, remember. Yeah? So, आजको सेसनमा what did we talk? We talked about writing, we talked about speaking a little bit, not in detail. Yeah? So please do the writing. Beverly Williams letter, page 66 मा थियो। एकचोटी स्पिकिङ को पनि पेज नम्बर 3 मा जुन थियो, पेशेन्ट 42-year-old woman with chronic pulmonary disease, त्यो पनि एकचोटी पढ्नु। त्यसपछि मैले भनेको यो क्राइटेरिया जुन थियो अहिले 8 वटा, यो पनि याद गर्नु। And then we are going to have a editing session. I'm going to assess your letter and I'm going to give you more and more details. I'm going to help you to speak tomorrow. I'm going to make you write few things about speaking. Ani balla tapai memorize garday jane task. That's how you get better. Yeah. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay. So I'm going to send everything to you on Telegram, on the group ma halidinchu sabai. And if you have any questions, you can freely ask me, and you can start messaging me, not my assistant, right? She doesn't know details about teaching and everything. So Telegram mai malai sodhnu, right? Because this is the only place where I'm available. Okay?
Okay.